Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Hola, my name is Melissa Baez. I am the BDM for Charisma Hotels and Resort for the Northeast Territory. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time, and it's my pleasure to be the one hosting for this webinar. Before we begin, I would like to go over a few housekeeping notes. So the first thing is please type any question that you may have for the Q&A session, which we're going to be having at the end of the presentation. And then you will be able to do it on the chat box. Then also please place any, if you need have, if you require any technical assistance, please chat Corey. She's connected with us as well, so she can assist you with anything that you might encounter along the presentation. And then also you will be finding the link to our travel agent portal on the handout section of the chat box. So it's something that we're going to be promoting on this webinar. I will mention it later on as well. And then, well, the webinar is actually being recorded as I'm speaking right now already. So everyone will be able to receive a copy of this training, but please make sure to pay attention. And like I mentioned, just put your note, your question, I will go along on the presentation. So I will just remove my camera so you can focus on the information I'm going to be providing. I will go along and then I will go back on the camera. But before we begin, I would like to emphasize or remind you that Charisma Hotels and Resort, it is a resort managing company. So there's a lot of different brands that we have under our umbrella. That's why it is very important for travel agents to have a niche so they will able to find the right resort for their guests. So the idea for you to make it easier for you to book holidays, and you will be able to find different personalities in our resort. So today we're going to be focusing on Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts and Margaritaville Island Reserve. Okay, perfecto. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get started. Perfect. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is Margaritaville Island Resort by Charisma. What we have to emphasize is that we made a merge with Margaritaville brand, and we made a merge mixing their fun with our luxury. So basically, our motto in those property is that we offer laid back luxury experience. Okay, so as you might be, the first thing I want to make emphasis on is that for this property, your client, they don't have to be fans of Jimmy Buffett. In the end, just the thing that we want to do is to offer a more different laid back experience. Yes, you will see a lot of names of the lyric around the property, and they're going to be the vibe of Jimmy Buffett's songs, but it's not about that. It's about having a great experience because in the end, Margaritaville is a state of mind. All right, so the first property that we have in our portfolio is Margaritaville Island Resort by Charisma Riviera Cancun. So that is in Mexico. So the first thing that I would like to mention is that this property has 148 suites and 5 pools, 1 spa, 4 restaurants, and 6 bars. This property offers a more laid-back vibe, so the guests will be able to have fun. Every night there's live entertainment, and one of the things that I like is a more casual luxury experience. So the guest will be able to experience fine dining wearing flip-flops. So you don't have to worry about packing up night dressing clothes, okay? And then actually when you arrive out at our property, you will be welcomed with flip-flop in your suite. So we will get you on the mood of vacation. All right. So when at the moment of your check-in experience of the check-in experience of your client, they will be given a bracelet, which is actually the room key. But then also on the bracelet, there will be points given to them. Those points will allow your client to go to the Joe merchant to personalize their minibar. The idea is for them to go there and maybe purchase M&Ms, any sweet snacks, beer, wine, for example. I don't like to drink beer, so I would rather have my minibar fill up with tequila and wine because especially tequila because I'm Mexican, so I will be very proud of drinking tequila, right? So this is just for the idea to have a more personalized experience, more tailor made to your client taste. Whenever your client use their point, when they check out, those points will disappear. It's something that we do internally, and it's all based on the room category that they booked and the length of stay. But again, it is something that we do internally. All right, this property, Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun. It is a boutique resort. It had only 148 suites. However, you will see we have plenty of room categories, allowing you to have different locations. Swim up, garden view, ocean front. So depending of your client needs and likes, they will be able to find the right spot. And as you see on the picture on the left, you see that on the bed, there's a basket with the beach towel and the welcome flip-flop for our guests. Moving on, we always have to think about what the culinary experience that we're going to be offering. Please remember that Charisma Hotels and Resort offers world-class gourmet inclusive experience. And this is not only about the culinary experience, but it's also about the service. Okay. As you will be able to see here, we have this restaurant, and one of the great highlights of Charisma is that you don't have to make reservation for dinner. And our restaurants are a la carte, except there's always going to be one that will be offering food display because it's a great option for an early breakfast before we go out for excursions. Also, please remember or please know that in Margaritaville Island Resort, because it's a very laid back experience, with one of our mottos, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So at any moment of the day, you will be able to have a wonderful drink, a margarita, or any specially made cocktail for you. Now, at all our Charisma Hotel property, we have a spa facility. This is not included on the guest stay. This is something additional. But again, please note that this is something available in case you have a group that want to experience some wellness retreats, so to speak. So we have indoor facilities and outdoor facilities where our guests will be able to have a massage by the beach. This is a few, in this list, you're going to be able to see a few of the many activities and amenities that your client will be able to enjoy. The most popular one that everybody wants to have is the floating taco bar. There, you will be able to see that you have the experience and the luxury of staying on the pool, getting all chilled, having margaritas, and having wonderful tacos. These floating taco bars have two sizes. The first one is from 6 to 8 guests, and the other one is 8 to 10 guests. And the idea is for you just to be in the water, enjoy, have your snack time, so you don't have to worry about getting out, dressing up, and go for lunch. And then we have other different options for celebration, intimate activities, and even, for example, breakfast in sunrise, picnic on the beach, so on and so forth. So anything that you can think of, bring it on. So we will be making sure that it is happening. Now let's move on, and we were in Mexico. Let's go and take a plane to Dominican Republic to Cap Cana. Before I move on, I would like to emphasize that Cap Cana, it is the Beverly Hills of Dominican Republic. So if your clients haven't been to Dominican Republic, or if they already have been, please make sure to emphasize and explain that the Cap Cana area is very exclusive. There's nothing more higher end than that location. For example, Cap Cana has its own shopping mall, golf course, marina as well. So it's all very exclusive within the Cap Cana area. Now, in Cap Cana, we have this complex, which is Margaritaville Island Reserve Cap Cana. We have two properties, as you will see on the picture. The left side is called Wave, because this is where we have the families. And then on the right side, we have the hammocks, where we have adults only. As you will see, they have even their own restaurant as well. And they have some exclusive restaurant to their section. However, this property has a common area where we have all the restaurants, so everybody's able to come in together. The same thing happened with the night performances. Let's start with the Wave section, family-friendly suite. So in this section, we have many room categories for different room capacities. And one of the highlights that I always like to emphasize of Charisma Hotels and Resorts is that at all our resorts, we will always have the swim up room category available. It's one of the main highlights. And another highlight of Charisma Hotels and Resorts is that we don't sell room. What we sell are suite. Even the leading room category will be a suite. And last but not least, in Charisma, we sell the experience. That's what we emphasize: the service, the culinary experience, the venue, the beach, all of that. So please remember that in the end, that's what your client will be taking home. So that's what we sell, the experience. And that's one of the reasons why we work so closely with travel agents. I will talk about this a little bit further. Perfect. So this room category that you've seen is a beachfront suite. This is on the wave section, the family section. This room category is located on the second, third, and fourth floor of the building. And as you see, it has a great beach view. Now, this room category, it is as you see it. It has a king bed, and the sofa that you see right here by the window is turned into a bed. So the maximum capacity for this room category is 2 adults, 1 child, or 3 adults, or 2 adults and 1 teenager. Now, moving on to the other section of the property is the hammock section, which is the adults only section. Here we have many different room categories. As you will see on the picture, we have swim up room category, beachfront room categories as well. We even have room category that have their own infinity plunge pool as well. So there's many different options. So again, if we don't have the swim up available, we will have other room category that will give the guest the experience of having their own pool. All right. In the end, all the property will have their own personality and they will always try to bring something different to stand out. Now, in this side of the property, which is the hammock, adults only, we have the Jimmy Buffett suite. This room category is unique. There's only one of this specific room category. This one is located on the upper floor of the main building. Okay. It has a maximum capacity of 3 adults. Why? Because it has a king bed bedroom. And then on the living room area, this sofa becomes a sofa bed that allows the third adult to sleep in there. However, this room category also has the availability to connect with a queen paradise room. Okay, so that will allow you to have a bigger party traveling. This is a great option for them. Then on the left side, you will be able to see in the dining area, you have an option of having a dining experience for 10 guests, where the chef will be able to come over and cook the meal for you. We know that on some time of vacation, some travelers like to mingle and make acquaintances during their stay, so they will be able to give them a more intimate experience with their new friends. Okay, so now within the hammock section, we have the Island Reserve Villas. This is a section within the hammock. Okay, this is a private exclusive area. As you will be able to see on the picture on the bottom, we have these villas all around this pool area. All of this is exclusive only to the guests staying at the villas. Okay. We have 40 villas, 20 will be swim up and 20 on the upper floor will have their plunge pool. These are not connected in between each other. You either have the swim up or the plunge pool on the upper floor. This room category has a maximum capacity of 2 adults. It has a walk-in closet, and then also it has a walk-in outdoor shower that we have in there. And when you are hanging out on the pool area, you will be having a pool butler taking care of you, and you will be having a private check-in with your actual butler within the villas. Now, we're going to be able to show you a few moments later that we have a promotion for group where we invite you to book your group on the entire villa because it's going to be a more exclusive and higher end experience. And for example, just to give you an idea, we will be able, for example, to do a foam party for the guests right here, or even maybe do a barbecue party here as well. So anything goes, so we're able to make a very unique experience for your client. All right, this is what I was telling you about. So please note, for example, in general, when it comes to Charisma Hotels and Resorts, one of the highlights that I want to mention is in Charisma, for you to get group rate, the minimum is 5 rooms. So this is a very good incentive, I dare to say. However, in this case, we're focusing on the Oasis Villa experience. So please make sure that, again, if you get the entire villa, you get a special rate for your client. On the bottom floor, on the bottom picture on the left side, you can have a very good view of the inside area where you have the living room area, the TV. On the back, you have the king bed. On the left side, you have the kitchenette, and on the far side inside where we have the bathroom with the outdoor shower. And next to the bed, there's the big window where you actually will be able to go out and access your pool, whether it's the swim up or the plunge pool. Moving on, well, one of the great experiences of traveling is everything that you're going to be able to enjoy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Remember that I mentioned earlier that one of the highlights of Charisma is that you don't have to worry about making reservation. However, the only restaurant that requires reservation at this property on this property is the let me show you here where we have it on the next slide. We only have one restaurant that requires reservation. Other than that, everything else is first come, first serve. However, if we have a big group or we have a special celebration, please let us know so we can acknowledge it. We can present a symbolic dessert acknowledging the celebration or anything that you might want to emphasize on. Now, before we move on, another highlight of this property, Margaritaville Island Reserve Capcana, this property has its own brewery. As we have the Lanchard Brewery and Grill, inside, as you will see on the picture on the left corner, we have a brewery area within the restaurant. So guests are able to kind of like request a small tour inside so they will be able to learn how we process the beer. And that beer is what you're going to be able to drink when you stay at the brewery, when you hang out back in there. So this is the only resort in Dominican Republic that has its own brewery. So this should be a very interesting highlight to promote to your client. Moving on, like we mentioned earlier, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So please make sure to understand that here everybody will be able to have a wonderful time at any time of the day. So it's not only that you will be able to have a wonderful cocktail any time of the day, but then also is the music, like I mentioned earlier, is part of the Margaritaville experience. We have different pop-up music experiences throughout the day just to have a more party ambience. Here you're going to be able to see different activities and amenities that we have available for our guests. Please make sure to note that we have also a pickleball court because this has become a new request for our travelers, so that why we have added this to our resort. So if you're able to make a group and maybe we can set up a tournament, that will be great for them, a very unique experience. So please keep us in mind whenever that request comes up. And at all our Margaritaville property, we have the floating taco bar in a different presentation, but we still have it. Okay, so here we also have the floating taco bar. All right, so now let's take a plane back to Mexico and let's go over to Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Maya. Now, in the last year, we heard all our guests and we heard you, travel agent, requesting us to have a Margaritaville Island Reserve adults only. So here you have it. Okay. And this property just opened about almost 2 months ago. Okay. And here we have, in the end, because it's a Margaritaville Island Resort property, we have the same landmark of the Landshark Brewery, which is this make us the only resort in Mexico with its own brewery. So here we're going to be able to have the same experiences of walking into the brewery area and just have a wonderful beer tasting. Okay. And you're going to be able to see that we also have JBW Steakhouse, Frank and Lola, which are very popular landmark of the Margaritaville brand. Then also, before I continue, I would like to also mention that at all our Charisma property, we always have also wedding venue. So don't be afraid of weddings. The only thing that you have to do is just book the rooms. Once you book the room, we connect our wedding team with the bride and groom, and they will be taking care of all the setup, the decoration, the menus, everything. So you don't have to worry about it. So be open to that opportunity. This property has 355 suites. We actually have 13 room categories. This property, the leading room category will have double bed, and the remaining room category will have king bed. Like I mentioned, this is a adults only property. So the idea for us is actually to have wedding, to host group. We even have a ballroom that can fit 200 guests. For wedding, we have a sky wedding, which is a sky deck area where you will be able to have your private event, even just for group as well, with the wonderful view of the beach right in front of you. So again, this is a very different property. And one of the main highlights of this property, as again I mentioned earlier, they will all have a unique suite. So in this property, what we have is the Coral Reefer signature suite. This is quite large. It is actually 3,200 square feet large because it's on the upper floor of the building and it takes the entire space of the entire floor. Okay. It has actually as you will be able to see on the picture, it has a infinity pool on the balcony, but it also has a quite big terrace for our guests to go and hang out and enjoy the sun. This property has this room category, I'm sorry, has a king bed and on a king bed bedroom. And then on the living room area, this sofa becomes a pull-out bed. So the maximum capacity for this room category is 4 adults. That's the maximum capacity. All right. So here again, we're promoting the culinary, the world-class gourmet inclusive experience with all the many different options that we have for breakfast, dinner, and lunch. Also, another highlight of Charisma Hotels and Resort is that in Charisma, in all our resort, we follow up with any special dietary restriction or allergy. And furthermore, at all our menus, you will be able to find always gluten-free option, vegan option, and vegetarian option. And for example, myself, I have a travel agent who specializes on celiac traveler, and she worked 100% with Charisma because she knows that her client will have a wonderful culinary experience. There won't be any worries, and they will just come back home safe and happy. Well, this property, remember that we are in Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Cancun, Riviera Maya, I'm so sorry, Riviera Maya. This property, remember that I mentioned earlier, it is adults only. Now, another highlight of this resort is that we have also the Land Shark Brewery and Grill restaurant, where we also have our own brewery. So this resort, Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Maya, is the only resort in Mexico with its own brewery. So that makes it more unique as well. And again, we have the idea of our motto of it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So we have different options for our guests to enjoy a wonderful drink and unique cocktail experience. Now, because I already mentioned the Margaritaville Island Reserve Cap Cana in Dominican Republic and the Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Maya, these two properties have their own brewery, okay? And because of that, we are doing the Oktoberfest. The idea of this promotion and season that we're making is basically to have our traveler that enjoy having a wonderful beer and try more like the local beer as well. It is a very unique experience, so we're adding this experience to our guests. And then also along with be includes saving for your client. This is something for a stay between September 6th till October 31st. That's the time frame for the Oktoberfest. So there are going to be different activities going through the entire season that are going to be focused on the Lanchar Brewery and Grill. Okay, so please start thinking about groups that want to have a very unique experience and more a beer tour experience somehow. This is a great option. So this is going to be again in Riviera Maya and Cap Cana. Moving on, we're going to go over to another brand that we have. In Charisma Hotels and Resort, we're working with Nickelodeon. We have two Nickelodeon properties. The first one we have it located in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. All right. I must say, this is my personal favorite one because it is very spread out and you will find a little bit for everybody. For example, I like the beach, so I will find my spot on the beach. But if you have clients that rather focus on the pool, they will find their own spot on the pool as well. And in the end, what we have to focus on Nickelodeon is that it's not only for little one, it's also for grown up. We have many different generations that have been able to enjoy the Nickelodeon channel. So don't close yourself up because this is also for adults. It's an adult experience that you will see on the picture. It's not overwhelming the course. It's not like on your face experience. Yet you will see the color, you will see the character, but it's not overwhelming. It is still a luxury resort. Please keep in mind that in Charisma Hotels and Resorts, all our resorts are awarded by the AAA. So they all are 4 diamond by the AAA. This is a certification that we have to renew year after year based on different standards that we have to fulfill. Okay, so we're going to be answering questions. So if you have any question, please make sure to put it on the Q&A session so everybody will be able to see it. And at the end of the presentation, I will be glad to answer those questions. Okay, now in this property, we have one of the other highlight that we have is we have the super villa. These super villas are 2-bedroom villas. So you will see, you go inside. On the ground floor, we have a suite with 2 double beds. And then on the upper floor, we have the master suite with a king bed. And then, as you will be able to see in the picture, we have you have your own pool. And this villa has also butler service. So it's very exclusive, very intimate, besides having the entire experience of the resort. Now, you want to know where SpongeBob spent his holiday? Well, he come to Dominican Republic to spend the time at his Pineapple Villa. As you will see, the Pineapple Villa is very similar to the one that I showed you previously. The only difference is that, as you see from the outside, we have the pineapple, and when you go inside, you will have the foyer where we have a decor cartoon-like, and it's tangible, so you will be able to have a wonderful time taking selfies and making a unique memory. But then when you go further in, you will be able to see that the suite is more decor, the villa is more decor with the color of SpongeBob. The layout remains the same. It is it's a 2-bedroom villa, one with a king bed, the other one with double bed, and it also has its own private pool and has butler service. Well, in this property, like I mentioned, Charisma Hotels and Resort, we make sure that you have a wonderful culinary experience. And we know that the more options you have, the better. It doesn't matter if you don't take them all, you will have to return and try again the other restaurant that you missed the first time around. So there's always an option for different likes of cuisine that you might have. We have Italian, we have Asian, we have the burgers as well, which will be a big challenge for a family to finish, but I'm sure nobody will leave even just one fry. Now, because we are Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts, please make note that we're going to be having different activities throughout the stay that you will be able to meet characters. Characters will always be walking around, interacting with little ones, but we also have more intimate activities. For example, we have the pajama jam at the set restaurant. So the idea is that you're going to go to this restaurant to have breakfast on your PJs. And it is wonderful because it's still a gourmet experience breakfast. And then you're going to be having different characters popping out and taking their time to stop at your table and give you the opportunity to take photos and make new memories with the characters. This activity has an additional fee. Then we also know that there's going to be a movie coming out, right? And we also have this exclusive experience with the ninjas. However, this is for dinner. This also has an additional fee, and also the ninja character will be popping out and make a performance and stopping by at every table, so you will be able to have your own picture moment with the characters. Now, what is it about Nickelodeon? Well, it's one of the great things about Nickelodeon that is not only the resort experience, but also the water park experience, which is the Aquanix. Okay, so at the Aquanix, we have different activities, different slides, splashing areas as well. But one of the things that I really like is if you see in the center where the Nickelodeon balloon is, there's a bucket. So at a specific time during the day, everybody's going to be gathered up and going to be, hey, this is going to be slime time. So everybody goes under the bucket and the slime flip over and everybody gets slime. And then also we have the option for our guests to have a private slime as well. And that's for an additional fee. So you see, I wasn't lying. You have the option to be slime during your time at the Aquanix. And well, at all our Charisma properties, we offer entertainment activities so on and so forth. But at Nickelodeon is all focused on our Nickelodeon character. So like I mentioned earlier, family and adults, everybody will be able to have an opportunity to meet their favorite characters. We keep adding different characters to our resort. So as you see, we have the Ninja Turtle, we have Paw Patrol, we have Clue, we have Dora, and we keep adding them to our property. So the experience will be more complete. Okay, so we always trying to enhance the experience and make improvement and make it more unforgettable. So as we speak right now, we're making a couple of extension and add-on to the property. We adding the sweetery, which is going to be a restaurant where you're going to be able to enjoy sweet cravings and even coffee and ice cream for the little ones so they can go be hyper all day long and sleep right on time. Then we're also going to be having a Paw Patrol exclusive restaurant. Paw Patrol is very popular. So that's why we're going to be able to offer this unique experience to the little one. Then we also have the Sneaks Lounge, where at the end of the night, after having dinner and enjoying the night performances, you will be able to hang out here for live music and just more like a chill out area. And then also, as we speak, the aquanic for this property is being encased. So we basically adding a wing to make it larger and have a more option of experiences for our guests. All right, so let's take a plane back to Mexico and let's go to Nickelodeon Hotels and Resort Riviera Maya. Now, this property, one of the highlights of this property that I would like to emphasize is that this property is the best family destination. Don't sell it as a resort, but as a destination because it has so much to offer. All right, as you will see on the picture, this property is the building facing up the beach. There's no room category looking to the back, okay? And in this property, we have the place where SpongeBob spent his Mexican holiday, which is the Pineapple Suite. Now, one of the many highlights of this property, as you will see, the ground floor is swim up, and all the other floors going up have their own pool, that's infinity pool. So if you don't have the swim up available, you will still have pool access. Now, also in this property, another highlight is that all the suites have two bathrooms. Why? Because we know the dynamic of traveling with the family might be different. So, for example, this gives you the opportunity of you, for example, as a lady, be on one bathroom, getting yourself prettier for dinner, and then on the other bathroom, you can have the little one taking a bubble bath. Just an example. All right. As like I mentioned earlier, and as I showed you earlier as well, at Nickelodeon Hotels and Resort, we have the highlight of the experience, and you will see the decor is still very subtle. It is still a four diamond property, so you will see the service and the facilities are high end. All right. And well, also another highlight of this property is that because our suites are larger, can fit larger families up to 5 or more guests. And when you book the resort, this specific resort, you will be having round trip transportation for to and from and to the airport. This is shared transportation. This is not be private transportation, but still you will be having the round trip transportation for your client. Okay, so in all our properties, as we have gone through the presentation, all the resort, we have different highlights and different room categories to stand out. So because the Nickelodeon is a complete experience with different characters, we have different unique room categories. So this specific room category is a room category where we actually have a maximum capacity of 2 adults and 5 children, or 2 adults and 2 teenagers. Okay? Why? Because these room categories have a king bed suite and 2 double bed suite. Okay? And well, as I mentioned, it's not all about only about SpongeBob. So this suite, as you will see, they have different decor. So for example, this one is a mixture of Rugrat with a little bit of Ninja Turtle and a little bit of other characters that we have in Nickelodeon. Then we have the pineapple suite, like I mentioned earlier. This is where SpongeBob stays over. So in this room category, well, we have it's a large suite, which is actually 3,000 square feet large. This signature suite, the previous one, this one, and the following that I'm going to be showing you, These are quite large suites. They are 3,000 square feet large. And the Pineapple Suite has a maximum capacity of 2 adults and 5 children, or 2 adults and 3 teenagers. The layout will be a king bed and a double bedroom with 2 queen beds. As you will see, it also has a dining room, living room area, so it's a very spacious for the entire family to enjoy. When you book this room category, you will be able to have included many different experiences. So, for example, you will be able to have butler service taking care of you during your stay. You will be able to have privilege to make dinner reservation as well. And when you stay in here, you will be in this specific room category that are very unique. You will be having included a character breakfast as a family and a meet and greet experience as a family with a specific character that you would like to enjoy. The same thing goes with this suite, the Lair Suite, which is focused on the Ninja Turtle. But the same amenities and the size that I mentioned earlier will apply to this room category. So you see, everybody wins, everybody gets something based on their likes. In this property, I will say that we have plenty of options for the culinary experience. So I will say that our guest will be having to start planning a second vacation once they experience the first one, because I don't think that we'll have enough time to enjoy every single dish of all our restaurants, which is a great thing to have. In this property, we still have also the water park, which is called the Aquanix as well. Please make note that this water park is the largest water park, at least in the Riviera Maya. Okay, this property has this property with this water park. The water park has 21 slides, and the slides are not just for the little one. These slides are made for all ages and sizes, so you and I can go there and have a wonderful time. Besides the slide, there are also going to be two rivers. One that is lazy river, and then the other one is it has like a waves, so it's a little bit more wild. And obviously, there's a lot of fun going on throughout the entire time. So remember, when you book any of either of the both Nickelodeon properties, the access to the Aquanic, it is included. So you will be already have access to the water park. And then there we also do the slime activity as well once a day. So we gather everybody that joining us on the Aquanic to have this slime experience. And then also we have the private slime available for an additional fee. Within the actual Aquanic, we have restaurants, so you don't have to go back to the property or anything. We have different dining food option for our guests to enjoy. In this property, we offer the character breakfast, also the pajama jam. So the idea again is to have a breakfast experience with the character joining us as we enjoy the meal. And we also have the option to have a character dinners, and also with the idea of our guests being able to join us on the PJ just before going to bed. Again, it's all about experiences, so we're doing things outside the box. Because it's a family-friendly property, and at all our family properties in Charisma, we have Kids Club, even including on the Margaritaville property that we went over earlier. We also have Kids Club, so please keep that in mind. Kids Club are for children between 4 and 12 years old. If the child is under 4 years old, they must come along with one of the parents. And this is complimentary. This is part of the gourmet inclusive experience. Having different entertainment activities and performances all focus on Nickelodeon as well. And in the property, like I mentioned earlier, we have the round trip transportation from and to the airport. Now, currently, we're having this campaign where we're trying to focus on the fall holiday. And this is a great option for the family with toddler, for example, to come and get away. And kids, they're going to be able to have different interaction with Blue's Clues, with Dora the Explorer, Paw Patrol, and Santiago of the Seas. So this is something from for our guests to the traveling window will be from September to November. And here, as you will be able to see, we have different activities that are going to be very on each of the properties based on what they have of characters to offer. but the idea is to have more interaction with the other characters that we have along in our resort. In the end, we are all friends in Nickelodeon. So that's the idea. That's why we want to have you experience it and become friends and go back home with great memories. All right. So this is basically what we just covered for our presentation when it comes to the Nickelodeon and Margaritaville Island Reserve. So in Charisma Hotels and Resort, we work very closely with our travel agent, as I mentioned earlier. And one of the reasons why we do that is because we know that the traveling experience begins with the booking experience, right? So we know that you will be able to send the right customer to our resort that will be able to value and appreciate what we have to offer. In the end, there's a lot of options out there, but we want to make sure that we have the guest that will be able to value and enjoy it and keep coming back to us. Now, for our travel agent, we have the travel agent program where, based on your production, you will be earning perks that you will be able to give away to your clients, but those perks will make you shine, or also other perks that you will be able to enjoy for your own holidays staying at our property. So let's say that the entry level will be the agent reward, where you start registering, you will begin to register your booking, and then when you register a 50 room night in a calendar year, you will qualify to become a vacation consultant. A Karima Gourmet Inclusive Vacation Consultant, where you will be able to qualify to earn up to 21% commission, which is a great incentive, and you will be getting other amenities that you will see on the image. Now, like I mentioned earlier, in all our Charisma property, we have wedding venues. So if you're not afraid of wedding, you will be able to sell it with us so easily. So when you sell at least 3 weddings in a calendar year, you will earn the patch, basically, of becoming a wedding consultant, which gives you many perks that you will be able to give away to your wedding groups. And last but not least, you can also become a Nickelodeon specialist. Also, if you book at least 3 bookings in a calendar year for our Nickelodeon, you also be earning perks that you will be able to give away to your clients. Please make sure to explore our charismatravelagent.com. This is the travel agent portal where we give you tools to shine. In the end, we want to make sure that you grow your business with us. And there you're going to be able to find media material, fact sheet, and you can sign up for wedding webinar. Or if you miss them, you can just go ahead and just listen to the recorded webinar and get more information on promotion and other material that you might need to help you sell our resort. Let me show you our sales team. We have Mr. Roberto Mosqueda, who is the BDM for the Southeast. Then we have Paulina Salazar for the Midwest. There you see also myself, which I am for the Northeast. Then we also have Ana Olvera for the West Coast. And last but not least, we also have Marisol, who is the BDM for the Canadian. I don't know if we have Canadian joining us, but hello. And she will be your BDM. Well, I want to thank you for your time for the presentation. I hope that you will feel more confident on selling our product, more enthusiastic about it. And now we'll be able to begin with the Q&A session. Let me just go ahead and take a look at what we have in there. And I will turn on my camera just to see what we have. And you can see me answering the question. All right. So one of the questions that I see on the Q&A session chat bar, they are asking if Tina is asking if there are any excursion. We don't offer excursion per se. We have always concierge service taking care of our guests to guide them with any special request and suggestion for excursion. And then, for example, in the end, when we are at Nickelodeon, you will leave the property because you already have the water park. But yeah, being at a different destination at either property, Nickelodeon or Margarita, there's going to be a concierge available to assist with any excursion suggestion. Then, okay, so there's another question there. Will the Aquanix in Punta Cana be bigger than Riviera Maya? The idea is actually to meet the expectation. So when you go to the Riviera Maya, I'm sure that your client will be, oh, now I want to try the one in Dominican Republic. So when they go to Dominican Republic, they will match the experience and the expectation. So I cannot say they're going to be bigger than, but the idea would be to match the experience. Another question that I see here is it possible to book via tour operator? And that would be for direct bookings, actually. However, check out there will be some tour operator that might offer that option already to add transportation, but it's something that is booking through Charisma Hotels and Resorts. Let me take a look. Oh, there's another question. Let me read it very quickly. Okay, yeah, actually, the question is for bringing in character, are any plan for bringing Avatar, the last airbender? Yes, actually, every 3 months or so, we post on Facebook. Actually, make sure you follow us on Facebook. Um, where we post the new characters that are being added on to our property. So we already have Avatar, by the way. We already have him. So for example, now that I show you our team, make sure to follow us. So whichever BDM you have, you will be able to find them by, for example, Roberto as Roberto Carisma. Myself, you will find me as Melissa Carisma. Like the last name is Carisma because we are a very happy family working together. So make sure to follow us on social media so you will be able to get the update on the character that we keep adding to our resort experience. Thank you. Let me see other question. Okay, hold on. Mm. Okay, there was a question in regards of the beach, but I don't know for which property was it. And for these properties, well, all our properties are beachfront resort, all of them. However, depending the location, they might have more focus on the pool area rather than the beach. So it all depends on the type of traveler because we know that some travelers they don't really care much about going to the beach rather than just spend the time on the pool and just have the beach view in there. So that all varied, but yeah, all our properties are beachfront location. Yeah, the Florida Tacon Bar at the Margaritaville Island Reserve Resort have an additional fee. Another question is, do you have special activities and services for autistic children and childcare? Yes, actually, we have just announced less than 2 weeks ago that we got the autism check certification, where we actually have a exclusive concierge service for autistic traveler, not only little one, but also adult. So we'll be glad to share that information on the thank you follow-up email like we're going to be sending you. We have this specific section on the charismahotel.com. When you go in there, we have a specific section for the activities and services that we're offering for all the autistic travelers, not only little one, but also adults as well. Okay, I'm trying to catch up with all the questions. Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, we're doing the expansion at the Cap Cana, I'm sorry, the Punta Cana Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts. And this is something that is not currently affecting our guests. It's just basically we're adding more experiences to our guests. And this should be finished by this year, by the end of this year. Okay, day passes. Okay, we do have day passes. And if you have you want to have a site inspection because you happen to be near the area, we will be glad to connect you with the on-site sales manager of the resort to schedule a site inspection and see the option of day passes. For day passes, it's something that we do basically per request with the GM, as we want to keep it exclusive resort and not anybody can basically walk into the properties. But yeah, we can connect you with the person. Yeah, we're having actually, currently, we're having the last farm trip of the year. Please make sure to follow us on social media because we keep posting the new dates so we can have the travel agent joining us. So make sure to follow us because we keep having different farm trips for either Dominican Republic, where, for example, you stay at the Margaritaville Island Reserve Cap Cana, and throughout your stay, you will be able to have a site inspection at Nickelodeon, for example. When we have our farm trip in Quito, Mexico, in the Riviera Maya, you will be able to experience all the properties that we have here. Okay, let me see. They're asking, yeah, well, the presentation is being recorded. So on the thank you follow-up email, you're going to be able to get a link of the recording so you can get all the information. But also, I will make sure to, on the thank you email, to give you a information on a platform where you can register. You will be able to access all our media that will be able to help you making the sale. Okay, let me see the 5 o'clock. Well, we don't have, none of our restaurants are actually 24/7. We offer room service, which is work-life gourmet inclusive room service at all our resort. And the pool are actually closed by 7, just for security purposes in our resort. This is one of the questions I was being asked. So rather than reading the question, I'm trying to just give you the answer. Okay, for groups, we have different options for group. Like I mentioned, the minimum to get a group rate would be 5 room, and you have different options. You can make your contract directly with your tour operator, or you can do it directly with us. If anything, I will be glad to also share that information on a thank you email if you would be interested in selling group to our resort. I'll just make note of that to make sure to include that. Okay, here they're asking me for a family with very active boys. Which Nickelodeon resort will you recommend more? Myself, I would recommend the Nickelodeon Hotels and Resort Punta Cana. That's the one that I will suggest. Okay. Just my personal opinion, but in the end, they all offer the Nickelodeon experience. They have the Aquanic and it's gourmet inclusive for Diamond Resort. But I would recommend the one in DR. Okay, for the Well, actually, there's a travel agent asking me for the young merchant, and the question is whether the client, if they cannot bring the amenity to their suite, somebody else can bring them to the room. We don't have an actual like room service within the young merchant experience, so you will go to the young merchant and you will purchase the item with your point and take them to your room. In any specific request or situation that requires assistance, we will be able to do so. But the idea is for the client, to the guest, to go to this young merchant, check the point, make their purchases, and go to the room and fill up their minibar. That's the idea. Okay, we're doing good. Okay, thank you so much for your feedback. I'm glad you liked all the pictures that we placed there and that are all real. So it's even more beautiful and more fun when you are there. Okay, so please make sure to, like I mentioned, on the Margaritaville Island Reserve Capcana, we have 2 resorts within one. So make sure that when you made the reservations, for example, if you were looking for a family-friendly experience, they will be on, you have to book them on the wave section. If you want to have the adult-only experience, they will have to be on the hammock section. And just for you to know why the differences, to remember the differences is that, for example, the wave section, it is a family section because a family can go together to the beach. The adult only section, it is called hammock because 2 can fit in a hammock. So that's a way for you to associate the name with the content that we're offering there. Okay, actually, it's a great question coming up. For the hammock section, what do you consider adult? Is it 18 or 21? It is actually 18. We consider them adult already when they turn 18. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay, one of the things that I would like to mention is that, for example, the opening for the Margaritaville Island Reserve Riviera Maya initially had whichever date, and then we moved it a little bit further, which we actually opened less than 2 months ago. And the reason why we did that because we know that it can be there could be a couple of hiccups, let's say, when there's an opening of a resort, getting the brand getting to known and having all the people booking our resort. So we moved the date so that way we have everything readier and it won't feel so new rather than just feel just a resort that is ready to welcome you. Okay, I'm getting a lot of great feedback on the land chart. Thank you so much for that. Okay. In all our resorts, in all of them, doesn't matter the country or the destination, they all have wedding venues, all of them. Nickelodeon, Margaritaville, and all the other brands that we have under Charisma Hotels and Resorts umbrella. Okay, for specific family-friendly properties, for specific family-friendly wedding, it is depends on the resort and depending on the activity, we will be able to set up the family wedding experience based on one of the questions that Barry asked. So it all depends on the resort and the specific venue or activity that they would like to have. We made the merge with Margaritaville, creating the Margaritaville Island Reserve by Charisma. Just another way for us to position ourselves within their portfolio as a luxury resort. So all the Margaritaville that I showed you on this presentation are by Charisma, and these are in Mexico and DR. Okay. We don't have handicap accessible suite, but please make sure to reach out to us so we can give you specific room category that might be more fit to your client need based on what they require. But please reach out to us so we don't like to say give no as an answer. So please give us the opportunity to provide us the information and the need that your client might have when it comes to handicap need, and we will be able to give you option. At all the family-friendly property, we have the toddler amenities, which is complimentary, where we offer pack and play, crib, a stroller, bottle warmer, bottle sanitizer, and other amenities. And this is complimentary. So I always joke that the family, they only have to pack the baby and they don't have to worry about packing anything else. And this is again complimentary. So when they arrive at the property at the moment of check-in, they will be given the list of all the amenities that we have. They mark what they want, and that will be placed on the suite. Or Nickelodeon property, we have, like I mentioned earlier, the entertainment that we're offering there is all focused on Nickelodeon characters. So in there, we don't have an actual like adult only Nickelodeon activities or performance. It's all focused on the Nickelodeon because in the end, the characters are made for children. It's not like adult only experience. So, but there's something always available to happen. As I show you, we have the Nick Lounge, where it's an area where we offer live music, so it can be more chill out option and a great spot for adults only within the Nickelodeon resort. So yeah, you have to bring your grandson, you have to bring your family, you have to come and try out our resort, sign up for the fam trip, and sell the properties. Okay. Okay, so now please remember, like I mentioned, our Margaritaville Island Resort by Charisma. And we don't have properties in Costa Rica. We have properties in Mexico and Dominican Republic. So the Aquanic expansion that we have in DR is going to be finished by the end of the year. Okay, I think we are almost getting over with the question. I'm almost finished. Let me just scroll down. Thank you so much for all your feedback. Thank you for your enthusiasm. Here's another question that I'm getting, which is said, are they pet friendly? Our properties are not pet friendly. However, obviously, there has become sometimes the need for some traveler because they require for medical reason to travel with a pet. In this case, it is something that you have to let us know so we can request the authorization basically by the GM of the property, whether they will be able to fit and follow up any requirement based on the pet need as well. So we are not pet friendly, but please let us know if you have any specific need in regards of a pet access. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, your BDM, please make sure to look at the slide I'm placing on the screen. Here you see our entire team, and you can follow them on social media. Remember, take their first name, and then instead of their last name, just put Charisma. Okay, so like I mentioned, we are a big family. Mhm. Yeah, you can book the different activities that we offer at Nickelodeon Hotels and Resorts that have an additional fee. Like, for example, the character dinner, just an example. We can connect you with the on-site sales manager or the on-site sales team to make the arrangement prior arrival. So it's something that you will be able to book prior arrival. Okay, so now, for example, for the Margaritaville Island Reserve Capcana, as we have two properties, the adult can cross over if they want to try out the restaurant that we have on the wave section, the family section. They can do that. In the end, however, we have plenty of option and activities and attraction in those two sides, so I won't have to worry about adults having to cross to the other side. However, children remain on the family section area in, except for when we meet for dinner and when we meet for the night performance. Mhm. Okay, for those that are already registered on the Charisma Travel Agent portal, please remember that you have to register your booking prior the check-in. Okay, so if your client already checked in, the system won't allow you to register the booking. Please make sure to reach out to your BDM and see if they're able to make an exception, because we are specific amount of exception that we can give away the entire year. So it's something that we will be able to review if you reach out to your BDM. When we do farm trip at Charisma Hotels and Resort, we always do a training where we go over the entire portfolio of Charisma Hotels and Resort. And based on the destination where we're doing the farm trip, we also do site inspection as well. But the idea in the end of the campaign that you're going to be having one of us joining you, so that we're going to be with you almost basically 24/7 the entire time, so you will be able to have a more one-on-one experience. So actually, our farm trips are not large. We used to do them very large. I remember back in the day, as I had been in the company for 11 years, we used to do large farm trips, but now they are no more than 10 travel agents, and we always have one travel agent per agency. That way we can cover a lot of territory, and in the end you can meet other peers. So that's basically how we do it when it comes to farm trip. So like I mentioned, please follow us on social media, and also I'll be glad to add on the welcome email that we're going to be sending following up this webinar, to include any upcoming farm that we might be working on, or we still have a space left for you to sign up for the last minute. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah. Okay, so brochures. Okay, so remember that we mentioned, let me show you the slide. Let's go back at the travel agent portal. When you go in there, we have an area where you can actually request collateral, where you can get brochures on a specific brand. For example, it might be wedding, it might be group, it might be Nickelodeon, Margaritaville, so on and so forth, that can be shipped to your office. Or if you have any showcase, we can send material to whichever venue that you're going to be doing the showcase. And then also on the Charisma Travel Agent portal, you can download flyers as well. So you have different options to get material to work on and have the tool to sell our resorts. Okay, thank you so much for the information. Thank you so much. So far as right now, when it comes to autism, um, we and the end with right now we're working on promoting the program. I will include the information on the autism certification that we already got for our resource. And first, we want to focus on delivering the service. And I don't know if we'll be able to have anything more when it comes to training to our agent. I do not know as of yet, but I will share this question to my superiors. Okay. And let me just go back to the question. Okay, I think. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. And okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, in this, one of the travel agent is asking, is the flight included on the price? When you go to the Charisma Travel Agent, Charisma Hotels and Resort, I'm sorry, on the booking engine, there's an option for you to book flight and room as well. It depends on the property, and there it will show you the option. So, for example, yes, if you're in the Midwest, your BDM will be Paulina Salazar. Yes. So you will be following Paulina Carisma. Okay, yeah, we can check out on the toddler inclusive amenity. So we can also, I can send you kind of like the list of the toddler amenity that we offer at our resort. You can present them to your client. They can check mark what they want. You can send it back to us, and we will make sure to pass it on to the on-site sales team of the property where we welcome families. Thank you for the information. Thank you for your time. And with this, we're going to be able to follow up. Okay, perfect. We just finished with all the questions. Thank you so much again for your time, for your enthusiasm, and you will be hearing from us as well. So thank you again. Have a great day.